Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're awesome. May peace be upon you, and welcome to the 10-minute course. It's 2011, 2012. I was doing my PhD in computer science at the University of Bristol in England. So that day, after my lab, I took a bus from Bristol to London. It was about 2.5 hours journey because a few weeks before I had signed up for a leadership course. And part of the leadership course is that my agreement was that I had to assist and volunteer at events to develop my leadership skills. So 2.5 hours later, arrived in London, got down off the bus, took the tube to go to the venue. And I arrived about 1 hour early. So I went through the door, went through the lift, and went up to the second floor because we had an orientation and training so that we would know what's going to happen on the day. And the lady that was doing the training, her name was Pip Gardiner. So Pip talks about, our expectations, how can we best help the guests, how can we create the best experience, and we were also assigned duties for the day. And on that day, I was assigned to the registration table. And I'm thinking, I just want to be in the background. Why can't I just be in the background? Meeting with strangers just absolutely scares me. I hated it. I don't know these people and I have to talk with them and I have to do this for them. Just like, ugh. So I stomped down and took the stairs from the second floor, going to the first floor where the venue is. I walked towards the registration table and then I stacked up my guest cards. So the guest card had my guest card so that they can write their names on the guest card and a bit of the details. I stacked on some pens, I stacked up a label and a Sharpie so that I can write their name on the label so they can put it on the shirt and then they can go in. So I did all that, and I remember walking away from the table until my back was hitting the wall. And in that moment, if the wall can just swallow me, it would be perfect. And then I watched the front door where the guests are going to be coming in. And then I waited for the guests to come in with this kind of like, oh, the first guest comes in, walk through the door. And I was crossing my hands, I was crossing my legs, I was hunching down. I was kind of like making myself as small as possible. So this guest comes in and went to my right and went to the person to my right, fill in the details with the person on my right, and then went into the venue. The next person comes in and goes to the person on my left, fill in the details with the person on my left, and then go into the venue. And then it keeps on repeating. They go to my right, they go to my left, they go to my right, they go to my left. They literally bypassed me, even though I was physically there. And then the one or two people that actually come over to my section didn't even look at me. They walk in, they look down, they go straight to my section, they pick up the guest card, they pick up the pen, they write down their details, and I looked to check over their names, and then I write it down on the label, give it to them, they took it from me, they put it in their shirt, and then they just walked in. Not even an eye contact, not even a word. So a few weeks after that, I met with my friend Katsawiya, who's gone through the same program that that I'm on, the leadership program. And then I said to her, you know what, I was assisting at this event, and then I was at the registration table. People will come in, they go to my right, they go to my left, they go to my right, to my left, and that's the one or two people that actually comes to me. They didn't even look at me, they didn't even speak to me, they just took down the details, and then they just went to the venue. Because in the leadership program, I had to keep my statistics on the number of people that I help to see how effective I am, and see what works, what doesn't work. And you can tell my statistics on that day was flat. It wasn't great. Like out of the hundreds that came in, I only helped one or two people. So it wasn't great, okay? And then Sawia looked at me and then she says, did you play the invisible game? And I'm thinking, what? And I said to her, what do you mean? I was there. I was physically there. Then she says, people from our culture are very, very comfortable with personal contact, family, friends, colleagues, people that we know. But when it comes to outsiders or strangers, we tend to put a wall up because it's a scary experience. And then I was like, that wasn't any wall. I was physically there. So I drove home with my 1 year old son, Abra, who was at 1 years old at that time. So I drove home because Sawa lives in Cardiff, I live in Bristol. So I drove home and I had to pass by the bridge. There's a bridge that connects from Cardiff to Bristol. This Cardiff is like in Wales, in an island. I drove home and then I kept thinking about that conversation. And even a few days after that, and then suddenly I was like, I did say I just want to be in the background. I did say I just want to be in the background. I did say if the wall can just swallow me at that moment, that would be fantastic. So I was like, oh. And then the next time that I go to London, again, assisting the event, the same routine. After my lab at the university, I jump on the bus from Bristol to London, 2.5 hours journey, arrive at London, took the tube to go to the venue, arrive an hour early, went up to the second floor for the orientation, and Pip Gardiner was still giving the orientation. And I was assigned the duty for the day. And guess what was my duty? That's right, the registration table. So I walked down the stairs to the first floor from the second floor. I walked onto the registration table. And then I'm like, I'm going to play a different game today. So I intentionally and excitedly set up the guest cards. So I stacked them here. I stacked up the pens. I put on the labels. I had my Sharpie ready. And I was standing so close to the table, like intentionally looking at the door, eagerly waiting for the person to arrive. Because I tell myself, I'm going to play a different game today. And that game is I want to be seen. I want the guests to come in feeling welcome, feeling excited, feeling the warmth. I want to help them the best that I can. So I was excitedly going, I'm waiting for the guests. And as soon as the first guest comes in, I made eye contact. I look in the direction. I made eye contact with them. I smile and say, hey, how are you? That's what I want to the guests. They look at me back, right? They made eye contact with me. They smile a little bit and I say, hey, I'm good. I'm getting there, or not too bad. Another British way, when you say, how are you? They would usually say, I'm not too bad, So they would come. So I would kind of like intentionally drawing them in to me, and intentionally they would walk towards me. They had a big conversation. So where did you come from? Oh, thank you for coming. Can you fill in your guest card? So I gave them the guest card. I fill in the pen. They write down their name. They wrote down their name, and then I saw the name. Oh, so hi, and then I said their name. So hi, Megan. Oh, so great to have you. I wrote down their name on the sticker. I give it to them, and then I put it in the shirt and said, oh, thank you. And then I told them the venue's this way, and then they went to the venue. And then the next person comes in, the same thing intentionally. Welcome them, getting excited to welcome, getting excited to help them. I just want to help them on that day, even though it's just filling in their names, right? But I'm like, it's the best thing ever. So the next person coming, Joshua comes in. Same thing, mid eye contact. Hey, how are you, Joshua? Making rather than the names, the same process, rather than the name on the label, give it to Joshua, and he walks to the venue. And then the third and the fourth, and then the next guest come in, the next guest come in, until I had a line in front of me, like literally waiting for me to help them, like a line. And then the person, my colleague on my right, on my left, they're like, Why are all these people waiting, lining up in front of you? Why can't they just come to us? That was the moment when I realized the power of intentional visibility. The power of intentional visibility. Visibility means nothing if you're not intentional and strategic about how you want to put yourself out there. Just like me, right? People bypassed me. I was visible, but I wasn't intentional and strategic about it. And that's how you want to have, when you want to be the go-to expert in your field, you gotta nail down the power of intentional visibility. For example, okay, some of you are authors. One of the strategies that I teach my clients is that, TV, magazines, they're gonna share, they're gonna constantly and consistently share their voices, and one of them is through books. So imagine, I'm an author, I'm an author, I'm an author, I'm an author. What's going to happen to your audience and your potential clients or potential partners, collaborators? I'm an author, I'm an author, I'm an author, I'm an author. They're going to bypass you. They're going to bypass you and go to the person on your right and go to the person on your left, go to the person on your right, go to the person on your left, because you don't have the intentional and strategic methodologies for you to solidify, not only solidify your position as the go-to expert in your field, but the visibility, like nailing down your visibility. Like the moment that I made the decision that I'm going to be seen today, I'm going to play a different game today, and this is the game that I'm going to play, and then started to implement a certain kind of strategies, like making eye contact, saying hello, welcoming them, feeling the warmth, the generosity that comes to me, like that I send it out there. That was the moment that everything shifted. And the same with you. When you want to be the go-to expert in your field, you gotta nail down your intention, and the strategies for you to boost your visibility and also for you to solidify your position as the go-to expert in your field. Otherwise, you're just gonna be standing there and people are gonna pass you to right, to your left, to right, to your left. Okay. And this is something that I teach my clients in my program. People who wants to be visible, who wants to share their voice, who are already sharing their voices, but are missing the thing that's gonna make them be seen, heard, and understood. And as well, positioning themselves as the go-to expert in my field. In that moment, in that registration table, guess who was the go-to expert in the field? Me, because I had the intention and had the strategies to back me up, and you'll see the results. Okay, darling, I hope that was helpful and valuable. So come and join. Make sure if you haven't signed up to the community, my community, go ahead and sign up for it, because I do lots more training, lots more free resources and trainings. And occasionally I invite top experts to join me, okay? So I'll see you there. Take care. May peace be upon you. Bye, 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 bye.